The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
We know which team is coming to Tecmo Super Bowl 59 from the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens. Now comes the question of which team they'll be facing out of the NFC. And wouldn't you know it, the Bird team will have to face another Bird team. But will they be playing the high-flying Eagles or the dirty Bird Falcons? That is what we're gonna have to determine today in the NFC Championship game. Welcome everybody to the NFC Championship game, being broadcast here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. Hello everybody, I am your host and broadcaster, Joe, and oh boy, what a season we have got unfolding. We are so close to the end. You don't want to see it end, but unfortunately, you know what they say about all good things. And that goes for both of these teams. They have had wild seasons up and down. The Eagles and Falcons both managing to, in very close races, win their divisions. The Eagles just barely edging out the Cowboys, and the Falcons managing to barely get a hold of the NFC South from the Saints. But the question is, how will these two teams do against each other? This is actually a rematch of a game from earlier in the season where the Falcons actually won that game 41-34, and that took place here in Philadelphia. So the Falcons have some history of dealing with this team, but things can always change in the playoffs. Just because you win a regular season match does not mean you are going to win against that exact same team in the postseason. Both of these teams know that very well. So the question is, which team is going to come out on top and be the NFC champions? We haven't seen the Falcons be the NFC champions since the 2016 season, where they had a pretty good run, and then things did not go there well in Tecmo Super Bowl 51. About 28 to maybe 3 reasons why you can consider that not a very good season for the Falcons, and one they might want to forget. Meanwhile, the Eagles, they were in this spot 2 years ago, where they won against the 49ers, went on to Tecmo Super Bowl 57, and then lost to the Chiefs on what some might consider a very controversial call, but they did manage to get the NFC Championship back then, and now there are no Chiefs ahead of them. All they've got are Atlanta and Baltimore to deal with. And some good news for those who are watching this game. The Eagles got their backup running back, Kenneth Gainwell, back from injury. Meanwhile, for the Atlanta Falcons, they got a much bigger man back in the form of Bijan Robinson. So that's going to help them out a lot, that's for sure. Which Bird team is coming out of the NFC with a victory? That we will be finding out soon. We're going to take a small break, of course, and when we come back, we're going to bring you down to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia for the start of this game. And here we are at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Falcons will call tails, it will be heads, and the Eagles will elect to return it. So that means that Younghoe Koo will be kicking it off, and Isaiah Rodgers will be back to return for Philadelphia. Which bird team's coming out on top? That's going to be determined, as Rodgers is going to take this from the 1-yard line and take this up to the 21 before he is taken down. Let's take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles starting offense. Jalen Hurts, 5th year out of Oklahoma, his 4th year as the full-time starter for the Eagles. Lining up behind him, Saquon Barkley, who spent 6 years in New York playing for the division rival Giants and came over here during free agency. Jahan Dotson, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith are the wide receiving core for the Eagles. And at the tight end position, Dallas Goedert, who's going to be lining up on the offensive line alongside Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, Tyler Steen, Jordan Mailata out of Australia, and Lane Johnson. Nick Sirianni in his 4th year as head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, and the offensive coordinator is Kellen Moore. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, man in motion. Hurts dropping back while in shotgun, throwing to his left for Dallas Goedert, who dives for it, but he can't quite connect with him. Incomplete. Let's take a look at that Atlanta Falcons starting defense. In the meantime, Zach Harrison, David Onyemata, and Grady Jarrett are the defensive linemen for the Falcons. At the linebacker positions, you got Lorenzo Carter, Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis, and Matthew Judon. A.J. Terrell and Mike Hughes are the cornerbacks for Atlanta on this defense. And at the safety positions, Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates. Jimmy Lake, the 1st-year defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, and the special teams coordinator is Marquise Williams. 2nd and 10 for Philadelphia with a man in motion at the right. Saquon going to take this one along the near side following the toss, and he's going to get to about the 30. I don't think he got it. He did not. Short by a few inches. So 3rd and inches for the Eagles, men in motion. Hurts going to hand this one off to Barkley, but the defense ready for him, taking him back a few yards. So the Eagles will be forced to punt this one. Braden Mann, the punter, and Avery Williams will be back to return it. He also does the kick returns for Atlanta. Braden Williams is going to take this from the 11 to about the 19. So let's take a look at that starting Atlanta Falcons offense. Kirk Cousins, in his 13th year in the league, coming out of Michigan State, he has some familiarity with the Eagles since he used to play them twice a year when he was the quarterback for the, at the time, Washington Redskins, now Washington Commanders. Spent a couple years with Minnesota, now in Atlanta. Lining up behind him, Bijan Robinson, the 2nd-year running back out of Texas, who just came back from injury, as well as Tyler Algier in his 3rd year out of BYU. The wide receivers are Drake London and Darnell Mooney, that's Kirk Cousins' weapons, alongside another weapon, Kyle Pitts, the tight end, who's going to be lining up on the offensive line alongside Drew Dahlman, Matthew Bergeron, Chris Lindstrom, Jake Matthews, and Caleb McGarry. Raheem Morris, the 1st-year head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, and his 1st-year offensive coordinator is Zach Robinson. 1st and 10 for Atlanta, man in motion for Cousins. He's going to hand it off to Algier. He's going to get to the 27, it looks like. Let's take a look at the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter are the defensive linemen. On the linebackers positions, you have Josh Sweat, rookie Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo, Nakobe Dean, and Bryce Huff. Isaiah Rodgers and Darius Slay are the corners for Philadelphia. And meanwhile, at the safety positions, you have Reed Blankenship and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who is quite familiar with this Falcons offense, a little bit anyway, since he used to play for the Saints. Vic Fangio in his 1st year as the Eagles defensive coordinator, and special teams coordinator is Michael Clay. Second and 2, man in motion to the left of Cousins. He's dropping back. He's going to throw it over the middle, more middle right to his running back Tyler Algier. He's going to get into Eagles territory for the 1st down at the 46. 1st and 10, man in motion to the left for Cousins. He's going to toss this for Robinson, and Robinson going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2. Man in motion to the left of Cousins on the 2nd and 12, as he's going to get sacked by Quinyon Mitchell. The rookie out of Toledo gets a big 8-yard sack. Robinson in motion, handoff to Algier, who gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 4. So the Falcons now are forced to punt. This is Bradley Pinion who will be punting it, and Britton Covey going to take this from the 3. And he'll get up to the 20-yard line, where he will eventually be stopped. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Both defenses coming through big time. Jalen Hurts going to try and throw this one to his right for Saquon, but it's intercepted by Jesse Bates, who gets this one to about the 16. So 1st and 10 for Atlanta in real good Philadelphia position, as Algier going to get taken down 3 yards back. 2nd and 13. Robinson in motion. Cousins dropping back. Going to throw this over the middle for Darnell Mooney, but it's incomplete. 3rd and long. Shotgun formation for Cousins with a man in motion to his right. He's going to try and run forward with it, and he takes it himself. And he's going to avoid a tackle and gets to about the 10 for a gain of 8. So they're going to go with the Younghoe Koo field goal. This looks to be about a 28-yarder. Kick by Koo is on the way, and it is good. So 3-0. Atlanta strikes the board first. So Younghoe Koo going to kick this off. Rodgers will be back to return, and he'll take it from the goal line. And he gets up to the 10, out of the 15 and 20. And that's where he stopped. 1st and 10, Philadelphia. Hurts dropping back on shotgun. Looking and throwing to his right for Devontae Smith. And it's another interception by Jesse Bates. Wow, 2 in a row for this Atlanta defense. Cousins on the 1st and 10. Going to throw it to his right for Drake London. That one's nearly picked off by an Eagle. And so that's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Defense seems to be the name of the game for today. And this game's just started. Cousins going to try and run forward with it. Taking it himself. And he's going to get strip sacked! Well, not sacked, but he does get stripped. Darius Slay gets the fumble recovery. So 1st and 10, Philadelphia. Defense coming through big when they need it. A throw to the right for Dotson, incomplete. And there were some black helmets in the area. You really got to be careful there, Jalen. Man in motion to Hurts' right. He's dropping back, looking for an open man. Running forward with it. Gonna throw this one off just before he hits the line of scrimmage for Devontae Smith, who's deep downfield, and he's just avoiding getting the touchdown. 1st and goal at the 3. Men in motion for Philadelphia. Hurts gonna take it himself up the middle, but he only gets to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal. Man in motion in front of Hurts is in shotgun. Hurts looking for an open man, throwing to his left for Brown, who's got the touchdown for Philadelphia. What a weapon A.J. Brown has been since the Eagles traded for him from Tennessee. And this extra point by Jake Elliott is on the way, and it is good. 7-3 is your score here. Williams will be back to return this one. And he'll take it from about the 8-yard line. Breaking tackles, digging to the 20, 25, 30, 35, still going, 40, 45, and down at the 47. 1st and 10, Atlanta. And off to Algier, and he doesn't get very far. Loss of 2. So 2nd and 12. Time for maybe one more play in the 1st quarter. Toss for Bijan. He's running along the near sideline. And he's going to get wrapped up around the 49 of the Eagles. So that's where this 1st quarter will end, and the 2nd quarter begins on a 3rd and 6. Hand off to Algier, and he fumbles the ball! Bouncing around, he's going to pick it up! It's going to be picked up by Atlanta! Algier recovered his own fumble and gets the 1st down! Taken down at the 41. Great work by the Falcons. Robinson in motion. Cousins looking for an open man. Throwing over the middle for Darnell Mooney, incomplete. There were some green helmets near there. You got to be careful, Kirk. 2nd and 10, man in motion. Cousins hands it off to Algier. Running along the far side, coming back towards the middle. And he's going to get taken down after a gain of 7. 3rd and 3. Toss for Robinson. He's going to run along the near side. He's got the first down and more as he's going to get to about the 21. 1st and 10. Atlanta in good field position right now. Cousins stepping back, looking for an open man. Throwing to his right for Drake London, and touchdown for Atlanta! And with that, the Falcons take back the lead. And the extra point attempt by Younghoe Koo is on the way, nearly blocked, but it's through. 10-7 Falcons. But the Eagles are going to get the ball. Rodgers will be back to return this from about the 4-yard line. Going to get up to the 14 or so before he is taken down. 1st and 10. Men in motion for the Eagles. Hurts, play action, looking for an open A.J. Brown over the middle. He's got him, and he's going to get into Atlanta territory, and he's going to get taken down around the 39, it looks like. 1st and 10 for Philadelphia. Man in motion to the right of Hurts. He's going to toss this one for Saquon Barkley, who's running along the near side. Saquon, look at him go. And I think he got that first down. He did. Just enough. He needed 10, got 10. Can't ask for much more than that. 1st and 10 with a man in motion to the right of Hurts. Toss it for Saquon, who's going to run along the far side. And doesn't get very far. Only gains 2. 2nd and 8. Shotgun formation for Hurts. Going to run forward with it. He avoids a tackle and gets about 3, it looks like. 3rd and 5. Hurts and shot. He's going to hand this one off to Barkley. And Barkley not going to get too far. And they're going to go with the field goal unit. So this will be about a 38-yard attempt by Elliott. Kick on the way is good. We got a tie game here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Williams will be back to return. And he's going to take this from the 2. Gets up to the 15. Still down. Now he's down at the 18. This quarter's about halfway done. Man in motion to the left of Cousins. He's going to try and run forward, and he's going to get strip sacked, and it's picked up by Billy Quinion Mitchell with the scoop and score! And the Eagles taking a big lead here in the 2nd quarter with that. Quinion Mitchell with the scoop and score. Defense coming through when they need to for both sides. On the way and good. 17-10, Philadelphia has the lead over Atlanta. Williams will be back to return. And he's going to take this from about the 2. Going to get up to the 15. And down at the 17. 1st and 10, Atlanta. Robinson in motion. Cousins stepping back. Throwing it for Bijan. He's got the first down. Look at this man go. He's running along the near sideline and taken down at the 39 of the Eagles. Nice work there by Bijan Robinson. 1st and 10. Cousins hands it off to Algier. And doesn't get very far. Only gained about 1 yard. 2nd and 9. Man in motion to Cousins' right. Cousins dropping back. Going to throw it to his left for Bijan, but incomplete. Double coverage, too, so you got to be careful there. 3rd and 9. Cousins in shotgun formation. Looking and throwing to his left, but that's out of bounds. Incomplete. Bijan was in the area. So they'll go with the Younghoe Koo field goal. This will be about a 56-yarder. Kick on the way is up, and it's good. 17-13 is your score right now. And we got about 2 minutes to go in this 2nd quarter. Rodgers will be back to return. He'll take from about 2 or 3 yards in his own end zone and get up to about the 7. 1st and 10. Hurts is in shotgun formation in his own end zone. Hurts looking and throwing to his right for Devontae Smith. Incomplete. Jesse Bates was in some coverage there, I believe. 2nd and 10. Men in motion. And Hurts going to take it himself for the QB draw. And he takes it further than the first down. He got to the 24. So gain of about 14, it looks like. Or that's 16, my apologies. Hurts dropping back. Got to find someone throwing it out of bounds, though. Incomplete. There was some pressure on him. 2nd and 10. Man in motion to the right of Hurts. Going to toss this one for Saquon. He's running along their side. Comes back towards the middle. Look at this man zig and zag past the defenses. You can't forget about Saquon as he gets to about the 36 of the Falcons. 34 seconds to go. Men in motion for Philadelphia. Hurts gonna hand it off to Saquon. Got plenty of room to run. Look at this man go, avoiding a tackle, and he's gonna get to the 3. With 12 seconds to go, they're gonna call their second timeout, and they're not gonna take a chance. They're gonna go with the field goal. Try and make this a 7-point game. This will be about a 21-yard field goal by Elliott, and it is through on the chip shot field goal, 20-13. Cousins probably won't get onto the field until the second half. Williams will be back to return. He'll take it from the 1. Gets up to the 10. And down around the 17 or 18, looks like. But it does not matter because we're going into halftime. Eagles have the advantage by 7. But Atlanta going to get the ball back to start the second half. Going to be interesting to see what happens between these two teams. Well, Tecmo Super Bowl 59 isn't for another 2 weeks, but next week we still got a game for you all, as it's the Pro Bowl. The AFC taking on the NFC. Gonna be a fun game, that one, and that's all coming up for you next week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. And so Atlanta going to try and get back the lead. They're going to get the ball first, and they'll have Williams take it from the 7 up to the 20, where he will be stopped. First and 10 for Atlanta. Man in motion to the left of Cousins. Toss to Robinson, and he's going to get taken down, a loss of 6. Second and 16. We saw this Atlanta team have a close game against San Francisco last week, as that's a loss of 2 for them. Third and 18. Looks like a strong I formation. Cousins tosses for Darnell Mooney, but not able to connect with him, incomplete. So Atlanta going to punt this ball. There were quite a few punts in the second half last week in the game the Falcons had with the 49ers. Pinion punts it, and Covey will return it from about the 29-yard line. And he's going to break a tackle at about the 44 and take down at the 47. Good recovery there. Good punt return there by Philadelphia. Hurts going to take this one himself, but Caden Ellis says, "You will not go any further. You shall not pass." So the loss of 4 by Philadelphia. Hurts going to take it himself yet again, and he's going to get up to the 50 for the gain of about 6. Third and 8. Men in motion for the Eagles. Hand it off to Saquon. He's been all reliable. And he is short by a yard, so they're going to go for it on this 4th and 1. Men in motion. Hurts taking it himself, and look at this man go. First down for the Eagles. First and 10. Pretty aggressive play by Sirianni. Worked out well. Shotgun formation. Hurts looking and throwing. Going to his right for Devontae Smith downfield. He's got it. Beat out the defender on that one. First and goal at the 6. Man in motion in front of Hurts. He's in shotgun. Hurts looking. Plenty of time. Defense starting to break through, though. Screen pass for Saquon, and he has all the room he needs for that touchdown. So the Eagles extend their lead. And with this extra point attempt by Elliott, the kick on the way is up, and it's good. 27-13, Falcons have a 2-touchdown lead. Williams will be back to return this. He'll take it back from about the 1. And he's going to take this up to the 18 or so before he is taken down. First and 10 for Atlanta. Man in motion to the left of Cousins. Dropping back. Throwing to his left for Kyle Pitts. And it's intercepted by Darius Slay. Oh, Kirk did not need that. That is for sure. Hurts in shotgun formation. Looking. Gonna try and throw this one to the left for A.J. Brown, who dives for it, but can't quite connect with it. Second and 10. Man in motion to the right of Saquon. And Jalen, actually. Throw to over the middle for Smith. He can't get it. Dives for it, but incomplete. Third and 10. Man in motion to the right of Hurts. Dropping back. Plenty of time from his offensive line. Throw for Smith. He's got the first down into Golden Goats territory. And that's where he'll be stopped. He got wrapped up at the 7 and taken down there. First and goal at the 7. Toss for Barkley. Barkley running along their sideline, and he got all the blocks he needed for that. Touchdown, Eagles. And they're going to take a 3-touchdown lead. How about this Eagles offense adjusting when they need to? Elliott's kick on the way is up and good. 34-13. But the Falcons are not necessarily out of it just yet. Williams going to take this from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone and down at the 5. First and 10 on the 5-yard line. Cousins dropping back. Plenty of time. Throwing over the middle for Tyler Algier. He's got the first down and more. He's going to get to the 35 and down at the 38. First and 10 for Atlanta. They were in a bit of a sticky situation to start there, but they got out of it as they needed. Cousins going to throw it to his right for Drake London. Look at this man go, avoiding a tackle. Gets into the red zone, down and around the 19 of the Eagles. First and 10. Bijan in motion. Cousins dropping back. Throwing to his right, but it's deflected and incomplete. Captain Kirk needs to navigate the Starship Falcon prize through the Eagles' defense. He's going to toss this one for Bijan, who runs along the far side and down around the 5. So first and goal for Atlanta. Bijan in motion. Cousins going to hand this one off to Tyler Algier, and he's going to score! So Atlanta gets a touchdown. 1 down, 2 more to go. As they try to get just close enough they can try and get this lead over Philadelphia if they can get it. 34-20 is the score right now. Less than a minute to go. Falcons defense needs to come through for them yet again. Rodgers going to take this one, gets to the 20, past the 25, 30, and down around the 32. First and 10, Philadelphia. Man in motion to the left of Hurts. He's in shotgun formation, and he's going to get defenders in his face, and that one's incomplete. A lot of pressure. It's a good thing he got that off in time. Second and 10, a toss for Saquon, who's running along the near side. You can't forget about Saquon when you're playing against him, as that's a first down. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter now. First and 10 on the Falcons. Looks like they're 49-yard line. Hurts going to play action, then throw for Jahan. There was some coverage on Dotson there. Second and 10. Made in motion to Hurts' right. The toss this for Saquon, who's running along the far sideline. Cuts back towards the middle, cuts back again to the far side, and he's down at the 32. First and 10, Philly. Hurts hands it off to Saquon, and he is going to get only about 4 yards. Second and 6 on the 27. Toss for Saquon, who's running along the near side. Look at this man go, and down at the 12. First and 10, Eagles. Man in motion to the right of Hurts. Jalen going to toss it for Saquon. Saquon, being the MVP of this game, gets to about the 4-yard line. Second and 3. And Hurts going to take it himself up the gut. He's got the touchdown! And the Eagles taking a big lead here. One could call it a commanding lead, but the Commanders are in their division. I don't think the Eagles would like hearing that. 41-20 Philadelphia. And Williams will be back to return. He'll take it from the 1. It's up to the 10 now. Avoiding tackles and breaking others. And down at the 18 he goes. They're down by 21. It's not technically over, but they're going to need a lot of work. Throw to the right for London, and it's intercepted by Rodgers. Isaiah Rodgers coming through with the pick. Hurts in shotgun formation on this first and 10. And he's going to take it, but he's going to get sacked by David Onyemata. Defense needs to come through more than ever. But Philadelphia can ice this, especially if they can get a touchdown. Barkley going to run this one back to about where this set of downs started. Third and 10. Hurts got a man in motion. And Barkley going to get taken down for the loss of 2. Eagles going to go for the field goal here. This will be about a 56-yard kick. That kick nearly deflected, but it is through. So it's a 24-point game. The Falcons might be in trouble. Actually, they are in trouble. Williams back to return this. He'll take it from the 7 or 8-yard line, I apologize. And wrapped up at the 14 before he's taken down. 1st and 10, 4:44 to go in this game. Cousins needs some big plays here. A throw to the left for Darnell Mooney, but he can't connect with him. Incomplete. 4:32. Man in motion to the left to Cousins. Gonna toss this for Bijan Robinson, who's gonna run along the far side, cuts back to the middle. Going back towards the far side again, though. Gets the first down. 1st and 10. Cousins dropping back, looking for an open man. Gonna throw this one over the middle for Pitts, who's got the first down. Kyle Pitts gets into Philly territory and down at the 38. But they need to score quick. Man in motion to the left to Cousins. He's dropping back, throwing it to his left for Pitts, incomplete. Can't quite connect with him. 2nd and 10. Man in motion to the left to Cousins. He's going to toss it for Robinson. Running along the far sideline. He's got the first down at the 27. They need to score, get the ball back, score again, get the ball back. Cousins throwing it over the middle, incomplete. It's a lucky thing for him that did not get intercepted. There were 2 Eagles diving for that. 3rd and 10. Cousins going to run with it himself. Gets it over out for Mooney. He's got the touchdown. But the challenge here, can they get the onside kick? They're down by 17. With 2:48 to go, I don't know. They might be able to. Anything's possible. But if they don't get this onside kick, we're going into garbage time. That's for sure. As Koo gets the onside kick off, and it is recovered by Devonta Smith. So this one is over. The Philadelphia Eagles are a lucky team here. Hurts looking for an open man. Throwing to his left for A.J. Brown, who is deep downfield, and he is going to seal this game up in case you weren't already sure that the Eagles will be going on to Tecmo Super Bowl 59. Great work by Hurts and Brown. And you just got to feel bad for this poor Falcons team. But then again, they did exceed expectations, so they should be holding their heads up high for this season. Williams back to return. He'll take this from about the 8-yard line. And going to get wrapped up, breaking a tackle, still going, avoiding another tackle. Keeps on going. Look at Avery Williams go as he's taken down at the 40 with a minute and a half to go. 1st and 10. Cousins stepping back. Looking and throwing for Darnell Mooney, and that is going to be picked off by Darius Slay, who takes it to the Philly side of the 50. 1st and 10. Man in motion to the left to Hurts in shotgun formation. He's going to throw it over the middle for Dallas Goedert, who's got the first down and more. Look at Dallas Goedert run as he is going to break tackles and get taken down around the 16. Atlanta going to call their first time out with 42 seconds to go. Philly just trying to give themselves even more points. Hurts looking, throwing to his left for A.J. Brown, incomplete. This looked like it would have gone either way at the start, but Philly came through in the second half, especially their offense, who came alive as Saquon going to run this in for a touchdown. And with Saquon Barkley scoring, that's going to make it at least a 30-point lead. And the extra point here by Elliott on the way makes it a 31-point game. And the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be preparing the champagne in the locker room tonight. You know this Philadelphia crowd's going to go crazy, as this time the Philadelphia Eagles come through 58-27 over the Atlanta Falcons. What a game it was for them. With over 200 rushing yards by Philadelphia, they are your 2024 Tecmo NFC Champions. Congratulations to the Eagles. And so with that, we take a look at how the NFC has come and gone. The Philadelphia Eagles coming out on top with this one. They had quite a gauntlet they had to run with Chicago and Green Bay before Atlanta, but they did pretty well for themselves. Aside from that Green Bay game that was pretty close, they pretty much dominated this playoffs, and now they get to move on to Tecmo Super Bowl 59, where they will be facing a fellow bird team in the form of the Baltimore Ravens. Which team is going to come out on top? That's the big question here. That is going to do it for us here today. A reminder that next week we will be having the 2024/2025 Tecmo Pro Bowl, followed by the week after, where we get Tecmo Super Bowl 59, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Philadelphia Eagles. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!